Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? I hope you'll be fine. This is Think New Syllabus Mathematics, Book 2. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter number 7, which is related to ratio and proportion. So before starting this topic, let us first reinforce that what we have learned related to ratios in grade 6, and then we are going to start this particular exercise. So basically, students, ratio and proportion are siblings like when we talk about equivalent ratios, that is basically the proportion, the relation between two different ratios. Okay. And what are ratios? So if we talk about ratios, we have learned that the relation between two quantities, any two quantities is called ratio. Okay. Like if I'm saying that for every one boy, there are two girls in a school, in a class. Okay. One girl, one boy and two girls. Right? And if this proportion follows, so if there would be 10 boys, how many girls would be there? So what are we going to do? We will build the proportion. If the actual number of boys is 10, so what do? We multiply 1 by 10, and same with 2, we will multiply 2 by 10 and we will get the total number of girls, that is 20. Okay. And similarly, if we say that there are total number of 40 girls, then what is the relation between 2 and 40? It's 2 multiplied by 20. It means there would be 1 multiplied by 20, that is 20 boys. So this is basically this constant number, or whatever you want to say, this relation between the proportion and the actual number is called the proportion. Okay. So the questions that are given in exercise 7a, for that, first of all, let us understand that when the two quantities are in a relation such that if one quantity increases and with the increase in one quantity, the other quantity also increases, then the relation between them is called directly proportional, right? One is increasing, the other one is also increasing, is called directly proportional. But sometimes this happens that one quantity increases, the other decreases. That proportion is called inversely proportional. That is, on one side there is an increase and on the other side there is a decrease. So let us understand this with examples. So let's say I'm saying that 12 eggs cost 36 rupees. 12 eggs, the ratio to eggs is given with its cost of $36. Okay. From there, I can build a ratio by simplifying them. That is 12 ones are 12, 12 threes are 36. So the ratio between eggs and its cost is that one egg cost 3 rupees, right? So if I want to find out the cost of, let's say, 40 eggs, what am I going to do? I'll build a relation between the ratio and the actual quantity, that is multiply by 40, and I'll simply multiply 3 by 40 as well. So the answer to this would be 120. That is, if I will buy 40 eggs, I have to pay 120 rupees. Okay. So what is happening when the number of eggs are increasing, the cost is also increasing. That is called a direct proportion. Okay. Now let's move to question number 1, which says 108 identical box have a mass of 30 kg. So what can I do? I can write it as 108 is to 30. Okay. 108 is the number of books and 30 is the mass. So it would be the books is to mass is 108 is to 30. The mass of 108 identical books is 330 kgs. Find the mass of 150 such books. What are we given with in part 1? We are provided with the mass. Sorry, we have to find out the mass. Find the mass of how much? Of 150 books. So what are we provided with? We are provided with books. We will search the column of books and we will write 150 below it. And then we will find the mass of 150 books. But if we try to find out what's the relation between 108 and 150, we don't know what is that. So for that, what are we going to do? First, we are going to find out the ratio between books and its mass. How we are going to find it out? We have already learned that we can simplify the ratios, the quantities to find its ratio. So it would be 108 upon 30. First, I'm going to write it in the form of fractions because the ratios could be rephrased into fraction form. Now I can see that 108 and 30 could be simplified with 3. So I'll simplify them with 3. 3 tens are 30. 3 threes are 9. 3 6 are 18. I can simplify it further since both are even numbers. 2 5s are 10. 2 18s are 36. So it becomes 18 ratio 5. Okay. After that, I have to find out the mass of 150 books. So what can I do? I will write it as 150 ratio x. And since both have the same proportion, that is, if the books would increase, the mass would increase. So they are directly proportional. So what are we going to do? We will use the formula that we have learned in grade 6 related to equivalent ratios, that is 18 ratio 5 is equals to 150 ratio x. If you remember question number 3, question number 4, where we used equivalent ratios to find out the unknown quantity. So we are going to rephrase it in the form of fraction. It becomes 18 upon 5 is equals to 150 upon x. Now what to do? Just to solve the linear equations. For this, we are going to cross multiply them. It would become 18x is equals to 150 multiplied by 5. So 150 multiplied by 5 is equals to 750. So x would be 750 upon 18. And now I will simplify it. So the answer to this would be 41.67. After rounding it up, it becomes 41.67 kgs. You see? Or one more thing, students, we can cross-check the answer that have we found the correct answer or not. So if you remember, students, we can use the unitary method. That is 108 box is equals to 30 kgs. It means the mass of one book would be 30 upon 108. These are the number of units. This is the quantity, right? So 30 divided by 108. And if we have to find out the mass of 150 books, so what we are going to do? We will multiply 30 by 150 and then divide it by 108. So let's check. Do we get the same answer or not? So if you multiply 30 with 150, we get 15 threes are 4,500 divided by 108 equals to 41.67, the same answer we are getting. It means the answer we have got is absolutely correct. Both the methods are used, both the methods are correct, but since we are doing in direct proportion, so we should go for the first method, that is using the equivalent ratios. Okay, whatever ratio in the first statement is given, just write it down, then put an is equals to sign, then figure out that which quantity is given in the next statement, write it down on its place, and then in place of the unknown quantity, write down a variable and try to solve the two ratios. So you'll get your answer of the unknown variable. Now they're saying we have to find the number of such books that have a mass of 20 kgs. In the second part, we are provided with kgs. You see, kg means we are provided with mass. In the first part, we were provided with 150 books, and now we are provided with 20 kgs. So what we are going to do? First, we will write it simple as 108 ratio 30. The first statement in the form of ratio. is equals to, now, what are we given with? Are we given, this is the books. So we have to write down the number of books first. Order is very important in ratios. And then we are going to write down mass later on. Again, what are we going to do here? We are going to write down number of books first and mass later on. Now let us see what are we given with. In part 2, we are provided with 20 kgs, which is mass. So we will write 20 below mass. And since they are asking find the number of such books, it means books is missing. So we will write X over here. Now we will transform it in the form of fraction. It becomes 108 is upon 30 is equals to X upon 20. Next, what are we going to do? We will cross multiply them. So it becomes 108 multiplied by 20 is equals to X multiplied by 30. Next, we are going to multiply 108 by 20. The answer would be 2160 is equals to 30x. Remember, students, whatever variable you are provided with, just try to keep it on the left-hand side. That is, make it your subject. So we can write it as 30x is equals to 2160. What should I do next? I would remove 30 from here and it becomes 2160 divided by 30. So I'll divide it by 30 and the answer to this would be 72. It means 72 books would have a mass of 20 kgs. In part B, we had to find the number of books. In part 1, we had to find out the mass. So earlier we have found the mass of 150 books and now we have calculated the number of books having 20 kgs. Okay, let's move to question number 2, which says, in a bookstore, 60 identical books occupy a length of 1.5 meters on a shelf. Okay, they are telling us the number of books and the space they occupy on a shelf. So if I say that 60 identical books occupy 1.5 meters, it means the more the number of books, the more space will they occupy. The less the number of books, the less space will they occupy. For example, I have 30 books, so the space would be less than 1.5 meters. But if I would have more than 60 identical books, like 90 books or 120 books or 100 books or any number of books that is greater than 60, then it would occupy this space more than 1.5 meters on the same shelf. Okay. It means that again, in this question, we are provided with directly proportional case. Okay. So we can say that books ratio length is given as 60 ratio 1.5. Either you write is equals to over here and then write down the next ratio, or just write down the next ratio below this one. Okay, it means the same. Then they are provided us in the question, find the length. It means we have to find the length. If we have to find the length, this would become X. And if we have to find the number of such books, then this would become X. Okay, it means in part 1, length would be X in this next ratio, and in part 2, books would be X in the next ratio. So if you have to find the length occupied by how many books, they are giving us 50 such books. So we can write 50 over here. The next ratio would be 50 ratio X. So we can keep it like this. 60 ratio 1.5 is equals to 50 ratio X. What am I going to do next? I'll write it down like the 60 upon 1.5 is equals to 50 upon X. Then I'll cross multiply them. So it becomes 60 multiplied by X, that is 60X is equals to 50 multiplied by 1.5 is equals to 75, right? So when we will multiply 50 with 1.5, the answer to this would be 75. It means X is equals to 75 upon 60. Now I just have to divide 75 with 60 and the answer to this would be 1.25. And what have I found? I have found the length occupied by 50 books. I told you when the number of books would be less than 60, the space, the length occupied by the number of books would be less than 1.5. That is, the less the number of books, the less space would be occupied by them. The more the number of books, the more space would be occupied by them. So the answer to this would be x is equals to 1.25 meters. That is 50 books would occupy 1.25 meters if 60 books, a few more books occupy 1.5 meters. Then we have the next question which says, next part, the number of such books needed to completely occupy a shelf that is 80 centimeters long. They are providing us with the length in the next part and we have to find out the number of books. So again, we are going to write it like this, books, ratio, length. The first would remain same, that is 60 ratio 1.5. And the second would be, since the length is given, so we will write 80 centimeters over here, and here we are going to write x. Now, what is the problem over here? In the question, we are provided with the length in meters, and in part 2, we are provided with the length in centimeters. So we have already learned when the two ratios are in different units, what do we have to do? We have to make them similar. So either convert 1.5 meters into centimeters by multiplying it by 100, because 1 meter is equals to 100 centimeters. So it becomes 1.5 multiplied by 100, decimal will move 2 places forward, and it becomes 150 centimeters. So we can write it as 60 ratio 1.5. Instead of 1.5, we can write 150 over here. Now the two lengths are in centimeters each. Or we can convert 80 centimeters into meters. How? By dividing centimeter with 100. So if we will divide 80 with 100, the two zeros will be cut, decimal will move 2 places backwards, and it becomes 0.8 meters. In both the scenarios, in both the cases, we are going to get the same answers. Let's try to solve them using both ways. 60 ratio 1.5 is equals to x ratio 0.8. Either use this one or solve it like this. 60 ratio 150 is equals to x ratio 80. So what are we going to do? First, we will transform it into fractions. It becomes 60 upon 150 is equals to x upon 80. Then we will cross multiply them. So it becomes 60 multiplied by 80 is equals to x multiplied by 150. Next, we are going to write x multiplied by 50, that is 150x on the left-hand side to make x as the subject. And then we will multiply 60 by 80 to 6. 8s are 48 and 0, 0. Finally, the answer would be x is equals to 4800 upon 150. So, 0, 0 cut. 3 5s are 15. 3 1s are 3. 3 6s are 160. 5 1s are 5. 5 3s are 15. And then we are left with 10. So 5 2s are 10. The answer to this would be 32. That is x is equals to 32. It means 32 books would occupy space of 80 meters. 80 centimeters, sorry. And if we solve it having the quantities in meters, then again, it would be the same. That is 60 upon 1.5 is equals to x upon 0.8. So when we will cross multiply them, we will get 60 multiplied by 0.8 is equals to 1.5x. So we can keep it as 1.5x is equals to 6 8s are 48. And then when we will divide 48 by 1.5, the answer would be the same, that is 32. So you see, in both the cases, we are getting the same answer. But the important thing is, if one of the quantity is in different unit and the other one corresponding to that is in other unit, first we have to make the two units similar and then we will go on further. Next, in next part, we are provided with, okay, we have solved both the parts. Now let's move to the next question. In the next question, students, we are provided with a proportion like if x is directly proportional to y and x is equals to 4.5 and y is equals to 3, we have to find an equation connecting x and y. So whenever you are provided with such a statement that if X is directly proportional to Y, it means they are trying to say that X is directly proportional to Y. Okay. This is the sign used for proportional. Okay. And then what are we going to write? We will write it as X is equals to Ky. What does it mean? K is a constant over here that we have to use. In the previous questions, constant is a number that will connect X and Y every time. And this would be the constant, a same number that would be followed. Okay. That's it. That's the basically proportion that we talked about earlier in the previous questions. That is, what is the proportion between two quantities? Like I was saying that if there is 1:2, one boy is to two girls, and then if actual number of boys is 10, so the actual number of girls would be 20. So the number that we are multiplying each quantity with is called the proportion. It's the constant number. This is the constant number they are talking about. Okay. So if X is directly proportional to Y, then the equation would be X is directly proportional to Y. And when we will replace this sign with is equals to, here we have to put a K along with the second quantity. So it would be X is equals to Ky. Now, if we have to find out the value of X when we are provided with the value of X as 4.5. So what are we going to do? Whatever value of X is given and whatever value of Y is given, we will substitute their values in this equation number 1 to find out this constant. Okay. Every time with this type of a question, you have to do the same. That is, whatever proportion you are provided with, first you are going to generate an equation. And after generating the equation, you have to find out the value of the constant, whatever constant is there, using the values of the quantities that are given in the question. So in place of X, I'm going to write 4.5. K would remain as it is since I have to find out its value. Ky means K multiplied by Y. So I'll keep 3 in bracket, which means I have to find out the value of Y. Okay. Since K is multiplying with 3, so we will divide it on the other hand side and it becomes 4.5 upon 3. I can write it as K is equals to 4.5 upon 3. Now when I will divide 4.5 with 3, the answer to this would be 1.5. It means the value of K is 1.5. And for any type of proportion in the same question, for the same type of a question, we will use this constant. So if in part 2, they are saying find the value of X using the same equation. Now we will use the same equation. First, we use this equation to find out the value of K. Now we will use the same equation to find out the value of X. In the third part, we will use the same equation to find out the value of Y. It means using the same equation, we can find 3 different values. So this time, what am I provided with? The value of X. We have to find the value of X when the value of Y is 6. So Ky means K multiplied by Y. In place of K, I will write 1.5. In place of Y, I will write 6 and I will multiply them. So 1.5 multiplied by 6 is equals to 9, which means X is equals to 9 when Y is equals to 6. And then in part 3, they are saying find the value of Y. So again, I'm going to use the same equation. X is equals to Ky. Okay. But this time, since I'm provided with the value of X, so I'll write 12 below X. Then the value of K would remain constant. That is 1.5 Y. So how to solve this? I'll make Y subject. It becomes 1.5 Y is equals to 12. Then I'll remove 1.5 from here and it turned out to be 12 upon 1.5. And when I'll divide 12 with 1.5, the answer to this would be 8. It means the value of 8 Y would be 8. So what we did in this particular question, first we found the value of, first we generated an equation using this statement, which was if X is directly proportional to Y. So what we wrote x is directly proportional to y in this form. Then I substituted this symbol with is equals to, and then I replaced it with is equals to k constant multiplied by y. This is the most important thing that we have to generate. So if x is directly proportional, then the equation would be x is equals to ky. But if y is directly proportional to x, then the equation would be y is equals to kx. This is what you have to remember. And then after that, keeping the values, substituting the values of x and y, we will find the value of k in the first place. After finding the value of k, since the constant would remain same every time, k would always be 1.5 in this question. So using the value of constant k, 1.5, we can find the value of x for any value of y. Similarly, we can find the value of y for any value of x using the same equation. Let's do one more question. So what are we going to do here? If Q is directly proportional to P and Q is equal to 28 when P is equals to 4. So first, using this statement, we have to generate the equation. If Q is directly proportional to P, Q directly proportional to P means Q is equals to KP, where K is the constant. Now using this equation, express Q in terms of P. We have done this one. Now using the equation, we have to find the value of Q when P is equals to 5. So for that, first we will find the value of the constant, keeping the value of Q as 28 given in the question, K, the value of P as 4. Now we will simplify it. It becomes 4K is equals to 28, which is K is equals to 28 upon 7. 4 ones are 4, 4 sevens are 28. So the value of constant would be 7. After finding the value of constant, we can find the value of y and x using the value of x and y. So in part 2, we are provided with the value of p using the same equation, that is q is equals to kp. I'm going to substitute the value of k as 7, which I have just found, and the value of p that is given in the question as 5. So it becomes q is equals to 35. It means for the value of p as 5, the value of q would be 35. Similarly, if I have to find out the value of P using the value of Q, I'll again use the same equation, that is Q is equals to KP. Where am I? I'm going to substitute the value of Q as 42, K as 7, and P would remain as it is. Now, I'll make 7P as the subject, remove 7 from here. So it becomes 42 upon 7, which is 42 upon 7 is equals to 6. So the value of P would be 6 if the value of Q is equals to 42. So it's very simple. All you need to do is to do a lot of practice for these type of questions. Inshallah, in the next video, we are going to do a few more questions. Until then, take care. If you are new to the channel, please do subscribe to my channel. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Achha students, one more thing to discuss over here. Whatever equation you have generated over here in terms of Q is equals to KP, you will substitute the value of K over here after finding the value of Q. So your equation would be not Q is equals to KP. Instead, you are going to write it down as Q is equals to 7P every time. And using this value, you will solve part 2 and part 3. Same in part 3, that is question number 3. Since the value of K was 1.5, so this equation would be X is equals to 1.5y. And using this equation, you will solve part 2 and part 3. Okay, so this is one thing that I needed to discuss with you. So use this matter. Okay, beta, take care. Allah Hafiz.